The following is a presentation of TFNN, The Trader's Edge, with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the November 13th terrific Tuesday edition of today's Opening Bell on The Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and thanks so much for joining me, folks. I absolutely treasure your presence here today, and my outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that you need to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. So let's go take a look at this tool. Now, this is a tool that certainly Sylvester Stallone has. These two tools, I'll call them two tools, perseverance and persistence. You know, when you listen to that story, that opening, true story, certainly perseverance and persistence. And I always say it is really best to model others out there that have been successful. If you go take a look at the folks that have been successful out there, they've all had to deal with failure. They've all had to overcome hurdles. But what they do have, two qualities they have, is persistence and perseverance. Probably the best compliment that I ever received from anyone was the mere fact that they said, you are a persistent son of a gun. You never give up. And folks, I hope that you never give up as well out there. You know, it takes time, if you just think about it, it takes time to build a corporate work of art. Maybe some of you are CEOs of your own business. Maybe you're one man, a one-woman army out there, and you know that it takes time in order to be able to build that corporate work of art. Maybe, folks, maybe you're an artist out there, and it just takes time in order to be able to paint that masterpiece that you've got in life. How about just simply life itself? It absolutely takes time in order to create the type of life that you want. It takes time to just simply develop and grow. It takes time. Most certainly it takes time to learn a new skill. Oftentimes, in order to master that skill, it takes 10,000 hours, unless you can find somebody that can just simply link the known to the unknown, that can teach you at the most rapid pace possibly out there. If you're confused on anything that you're doing, that really is a good sign, because what that means, folks, that means you're really just about to learn something. Give yourself, give your enterprise, give that artist within inside you, give that piece of art, give that skill set that you're trying to create, give it time, folks, because they deserve your time out there. Time requires what? It requires patience and perseverance. We're not just sitting at a stoplight and you just momentarily look down and you get that honk behind you. That's actually the shortest, I think that's the shortest measurement of time that exists on the planet. That simply is an impatient person behind you. What do they think? You're just going to be looking down for the next, through the entire stoplight out there? Anyways, that's how I measure time, as the shortest period of time out there in the marketplace. And, you know, folks, the twin killers of success, it's really simple. Impatience and greed. Just get rid of those, folks. Make sure instead you've got perseverance and persistence, and you will do just fine out there. Let's go take a look at these markets here. We've got the futures trading lower into the new moon. The new moon really coming into being today. I don't have the exact time here in front of me. The exact time doesn't matter, but the market really doing what it's supposed to do, trying to complete some patterns that are out there, and they just have to be patience. You've got to be patient, and you will persevere. If we take a look at Dow futures right now, you've got the Dow futures off about 80 points, trading out at 12,701. The ES Mini, that's what we're looking at here on my screen. If you're watching us on TigerTV, you see the ES Mini 30-minute chart. Maybe you're listening on your mobile device, maybe your pad device, maybe you're watching us or listening to us on the radio. We absolutely appreciate any way that you connect with us here at TFNN. You can always catch an archive of this show on Channel 9. That way you'll be able to go ahead and take a look at these chart patterns, because it really is all about chart patterns. In fact, last night I ran across an article. I sent it off to Larry probably about 10:30 in the evening. I meant to print that off. Maybe I'll get a chance to do that during one of the breaks out here. But it was really a great article talking about Fibonacci relationships, and just really a great article. And I'd rather just quote from it as opposed to paraphrase. But in the meantime, if we take a look at the ES Mini, it's trading out at 1368. That's off 10 points. You got the NASDAQ futures down 23 points here this morning, out at 2558. The Russell down about 6 points as well. King dollar up only 17 ticks, trading out at 81.28. Gold trading off about $8 right now, out at 17.23. Silver down 17 cents at 32.22. as we take a look around the globe, see what we did last night. You know, we had a flat market out here, a totally flat market. I mean, about as flat as you possibly can get. Doesn't matter whether it was a holiday. Certainly you had light volume out there. But think about this. The Dow was off 31 cents. The S&P was up 18 cents. The composite down 61 cents. The Russell was the big loser of the day, down $1.26 out there. So certainly a flat day. We don't have flat waters here this morning, not as we take a look at the markets and as we go overseas. Over in Asia, even though we handed a flat market off to them, they said, no way. They didn't like that flat market, so you had the Shanghai off 32 points. That was down 1.5%. You had the Hang Seng off another 1%, over 1%, down 241 points. The Nikkei off 15 points. Nikkei, really the best performer out there as you take a look at Asia. Right now in Europe, you've got the DAX off 82 points. Again, taking on the areas of support that we've looked at for the last several days, both the rising price channel as well as some horizontal report. That is horizontal support out there. That is absolutely under attack here this morning. The FTSE off 44 points as well. That's down 0.7%. So let's go take a look at the ES Mini. Let's look at the 30-minute chart, see what it is that we are doing. Now, you had a nice little pop this morning here coming into the 7:30 time frame. You had the bears. The bulls were in charge. The bulls stepped in. Let's get rid of some of these lines out here. The bulls stepped in at 6:30 this morning. They created a hammer candle out there. That hammer candle going against the last time that the bulls were down in this area. There was a hammer candle that was created at 8:30 in the morning on November the 9th out there. Those are areas where the bulls were trying to take charge. You can see during that 7 o'clock, 6:30 to 7 o'clock session as well. You can see how the bulls were able to step in here on the 30-minute chart. But quickly, the bears came to work. And now you've got the areas in the real support area here that you're going to want to really be paying attention to is that first hammer candle. You had a nice hammer candle at 8:30 in the morning on November the 9th. You had a nice bullish engulfing candle right after that. You had a expansion of swing points. If we take a look at expansions of swing points, what we would do is just simply take a look at on the 30-minute chart, the 2:30 a.m. time frame from November the 9th all the way down to the level of 8:30 in the morning, which was a price point of 1363. What you'll see is price expanded to a Fibonacci number out there. Poor old Warren Buffett, he doesn't believe in Fibonacci numbers out there. I got a lot of respect for the guy, but he really should pay attention to Fibonacci expansion and contraction. Maybe he doesn't, but you should, folks, absolutely. Where did that expand up to? That 1.272 area was looks like 1387. And where the ES Mini actually got up to, where it expanded to, was 1388. It's a beautiful thing. You've got to love that. The bears showed up in that 1:30 session. This is going back to the November 9 time frame. So what is it that you want to be paying attention? If you're a bear, you want to see the 30-minute close below the price point of 1363.50. That's that 8:30 hammer candle that came in on November 9th. To me, that's got more power, more strength than the one that we saw come in here this morning at 6:30 a.m. The 6:30 a.m. candle being under attack, that level 1365.75. The market doing exactly what it is that you would want to do coming into a lunar cycle, and we've got plenty of things happening in the skies. Not only do you have a new moon today, you've got the moon at perigee tomorrow. You've got a 4 planetary index date on Thursday. A lot of things, a lot of energy happening around us. And so we'll see if this market here can make a little bit of a bottom. It's not going to be a long-term bottom. That certainly, I haven't seen that signal here. But it should be a bottom that would last for 4 days or more out there. The question is, when? You've got to have patience. And right now, it's a little bit too early. The selling pressure still exists in the marketplace. Let's go take a look at some of the other futures contracts out here. Let's go take a look at the NASDAQ. Why the NASDAQ? Because that certainly has been the lead dog on the way down. If we take a look at A to B equals CD patterns out here, maybe this will be what gives us the clue. And we're looking at just simply a 30-minute chart out here. In the 30-minute chart, the A point on this is going to start at the swing point high. That goes back to the 12:30 time frame on November the 6th. That high out there, 2691.75. Your B point on the NASDAQ future is going to be the swing point low, the candle low of 12 noon, November the 7th, out at 25. $1,299. What kind of retracement does it do? It does a shallow retracement, 0.382 or less, as it moves up into higher price. Really looks like it moved up into higher price right about here at about the 4 p.m. close on November the 7th. The 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, which has not been hit, is 25.29. Game also 25.03. That would be the 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD. Now, what we can see is price has just simply traveled sideways here, really in a consolidation pattern ever since when? Ever since Stevie's hammer candle out here that came in at 8:30 in the morning. That low out there, 25.56.25. You can see trading at 25.56.50 right now. It's the NASDAQ futures that are going to give us the first signal here in the marketplace. A close below that coming into the 9:30 session. If you're long, you're wrong, and you want to wait for more bulls to show up at whatever party it is that you're throwing out there. The Dow futures off 88 points right now. S&P down 11. 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be right back.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Masters Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. We had Home Depot out with their earnings before the bell. They closed at 61.16. They raised their guidance. They beat their numbers out here. Let's see what they actually did. They did net earnings $1.1 billion, 74 cents a share. That compared to, what did that compare out to? Where's my comparison? Well, sales of 18.13 versus 17.3 billion out there. They did Q3 operating income 1.7 versus 1.6. They've also raised their guidance. They say an indication that housing is off of the bottom out there. We know that to be the case here at TFNN. Home Depot closing at 61.16 here in the pre-market, trading out at 62.60. We've got Apple leading the charge on the way down this morning. They closed at 5.42, off just about maybe about $4, trading out at 539.49 right now. Microsoft, though, taking a little bit bigger of a hit. They closed at 28.22. The individual who I believe created Windows 7 and Windows 8 leaving the company. Microsoft closed at 28.22. Takes a lot to move Microsoft down. Trading out right now just under $27, so off $1.22 or so out there. Also, let's see, what do we have here moving? You've got Gilead Science up again. They had a strong day yesterday, just up a small amount. Closed at 73.93. They're up almost another buck here, 74.60 or so. You got Michael Kors. They were out with numbers as well before the bell. Their numbers look pretty good. They expect total revenue to be about between 525 to 535. Their Q2 net sales 513 versus 287 million a year ago. A lot of folks buying Michael Kors stuff. That is for sure. The stock closing out at 50.58, trading out right now at 51.20. So not a huge move up, but considering the marketplace, probably not too bad. Let's go out to, let's see here, we've got Lou in Nashua, New Hampshire. Lou, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Good. I was wondering if you could look at WellPoint, WLP.
Absolutely. WellPoint is the healthcare provider out there. WellPoint, through its subsidiary, they operate health benefits companies in the United States. Tell me what it is that you're doing here, what you're looking at.
Well, I bought puts yesterday.
You bought put? Okay. All right. And so you bought some puts. This does have a, of high volume low that it's really getting close to testing. So you're going to have to be paying attention to this July 25th area. That has 15 million shares. The top of that is 55.80. Yesterday, and it closed yesterday at 55.85, got to 55.75, only had 1.6 million shares. Now, we know a light day yesterday, but still only 1.6 million shares. And on November the 9th, so on Friday, this also gave a little bit of a signal that it was kind of losing some of its steam, believe it or not. Created a little what's called a bullish harami candle out there. Doesn't mean it's a reversal signal. Your reversal signal might come in as a test, I would say, either the 53.26. You want to see this at least get down close to that 52.51. Now, if it gets to below 52.51, closes back up above it, Lou, and it does that on less than 8.6 million shares, you might want to go ahead and cash in because it will have been a rejection of swing points. Now, on the bearish side, what you're looking for, you want to see it close below 52.51, period. You'd like to see it close below that with more than 8.7 million shares. That would be that would then set up that this wants a lower price here. As far as lower price, the next level on this would be down around the swing points of July 1st, 2010 in the $46 area out there. That's on the daily chart, and that's what I see. How do you see it?
Yes, that's great.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. So I think those are the parameters that you're looking for. With the market that is moving down, you need to be careful out here because unless the lunar signals become unglued, which is possible, they certainly have been working for the last 6 months really solidly. We should see some type of reversal here over the course of the next couple of days here. But you've got the parameters specifically for WellPoint that will help you manage that stock. All right, my friend?
Thank you.
You bet. You have a good morning. As we come into the market open here and we look back to the futures, Dow futures off about 77 points. That's where they should open. S&P down about 10. Let's go back and take a look at that hammer candle on the NASDAQ futures. Still holding right now as we speak, but it is under attack. That low, 25.56.25. Doesn't look like you're going to get a close below that here as the market comes to open in just under a minute. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
To the races. We got the Dow trading off 51 points right now. S&P down 8, Composite down 25, small caps off 5, New York Stock Exchange off 42, the NDX down 25. Let's see, leading the charge on the way down is the NDX. The transport's off 0.4% right now. We'll go take a look at Apple in a moment. Let's go take a look at PEG, which is the ticker symbol for our man Victor in Paramus, New Jersey. That is the public service enterprise. He has been waiting for this equity, trying to buy this. It's trading out at $29.80 right now. Let's take a look at A to B equals CD patterns for him. We'll take a look at our A point here, being the July 30th, 2012 time frame. The high there, 34.07. Your B point on this equity is the September 12th level, 31.19. This goes ahead and retraces up to October the 18th, gets into a price point of 33.36. Yesterday makes a 1 to 1.272. A to B equals CD. This morning here it is trading up. If we take a look at yesterday's close, $29.60 opens this morning out at 29.59. Oh, Victor, that's a good thing. That's a good thing because it's a chance here you could see a bullish engulfing candle. You'd have to get it closed today above 29.90, making a 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD pattern. And what it didn't do, though, which you really would have loved, is, and which you really would like, is a test of the swing point low, of the swing point itself, from April the 10th. That high is 29.45. What did it get to yesterday? 29.49. Missed it by 4 pennies. Volume-wise, though, coming in yesterday, certainly a light volume day, a little bit over 2 million shares, coming into 5.4. That's really the type of test that you want, completing this pattern, testing that swing point on lighter volume, getting a potential bullish candle signal out here. And so it may be an opportunity, if you wanted to take a little stab at it. But you've got to be patient. You've got to wait to see how the day closes out, and you really would like to have seen a test of that April 10th swing point out there. Again, that price is $29.45. You'd like to see it tested on a full day, in essence, when everybody is back to work. But you got to take what the market will give you. Sometimes it doesn't give you the total ideal trade setup out there. But your parameters out here, you want to see it close today above 29.60 and a further high tomorrow. And you've got to be a little bit concerned about this. Why? Because that price moving along that C to D leg, that price movement is stronger than A to B. And what that says is that may want lower price, because if we take a look at this equity, we can see that it's gotten into extreme oversold territory out here. So what we could be seeing taking place today, nothing more than perhaps a little bit of a short covering rally. This equity here needs to work off this oversold condition. And the ways to do that, move sideways or bounce higher out here. But it is New Moon Tuesday, and we are preparing for a change in trend in the marketplace. Fiscal cliff or no fiscal cliff out there. Right now we've got the Dow trading off about 30 points, S&P off 5. If we go back and we take a look at that hammer candle, the one that I say is the most important, which was the 8:30 a.m. session from November the 9th. You can see that hammer candle was attacked here during the open, and the bulls now trying to step in and create a bullish engulfing candle out here. Got to wait for this 30-minute session to open, so we've got quite a bit of time here to watch how that unfolds. You get a close below that as we come into the 10 o'clock time frame. Says if you're long, you're wrong, and you will see the NASDAQ futures make their way down to at least that 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, which would be the 25.29 level. We did say the NDX was what was pulling things down. That's because of Apple, and, well, not just because of Apple, but Apple certainly the lead dog in the clubhouse here. What I'll do for you tomorrow, I just didn't get enough time to do it this evening, and that is, when you take a look at some of the winners out here in the marketplace that have been getting crushed, remember, you've got these talks about fiscal cliff. Put the fiscal cliff off to the side. What you really have going on out here is really also some tax planning because of the conversation about certainly increasing rates out there. And so when you take a look at capital gains, and you would take a look at your largest winners out there and understand what type of tax cost or burden it might cost you to carry that into next year with the uncertainty of knowing what the exact tax structure is going to be. So as you continue to see pressure on Apple, which we'll put in there, depending on when folks got into that equity, we know that it has had nothing more than an amazing run. And when you start taking a look at the tax between paying 15% and 30+% out there, potentially, depending on which tax bracket it is that you are in, it really becomes an economic decision of, do I just take a little pain now while it's had such a good run? So we're seeing a lot of pressure in some of the big names. Apple, IBM, Google. These are equities that have gotten up and above highs, and Walmart as well. Maybe, because you've got high-paying dividend stocks out there. And so you've put all of that together. Some of the pressure it is that we're seeing here in the market is nothing more than the unwinding and just simply preparing. Yesterday I talked about preparedness and how important that is to success out there. Well, what you've got folks doing is sitting down with their tax advisors, taking a look at the implications of holding some of their great winnings out there. And Apple certainly has got to be the, at the top of the list out here. You might have a lot of folks got in the $250 range. After all, you had Apple consolidating in that area going back into the early part of 2011, January of 2011, all the way, really, quite frankly, into the December time frame. The end of November out there, beginning of November. So you've got a lot of folks that were taking a look at possible triples in profit out there, in the $200 range, up into the $700 to $600 range, even today at $540. Not really a difficult decision to make when you start taking a look at taxes and what you've been paying and whether or not you should be getting in or getting out, really getting out, and especially when you start to see an equity that like this that starts to give things up. What is Apple doing here today? Traded out at 541.26. What is Apple doing? It's really taking on that swing point low, that little cluster of swing points back in the middle of May 18th, 528.66, 26 million shares. Yesterday, not really much in the way of volume, does 18 million shares, but still as it's coming down into that area, coming in with volume, it is still trading inside the swing point low, which is the May 18th candle. The high of that is 543.41, trading just below that, so you have not rejected that. Of course, we see that Apple here, we see the selling pressure that is on in Apple, as well as really the markets. This is a daily chart on Apple. Apple has not seen this much selling pressure since, let's go back. The last time it saw this kind of selling pressure was back in 2008, September, and around the September 17th level of 2008, when it got down to that type of selling pressure. It's pretty amazing. Excuse me, all the way back then here. We will see a bounce in Apple at some point in time. It just may not be today. But Apple, as I pointed out yesterday, if you didn't catch yesterday's show that I did, I was doing that remote, so I was using a different system. that I use certainly for producing my newsletters. And that showed, in fact, it has a study in Apple that you absolutely need to be paying attention to. If you've never tried my newsletter service, you ought to do it for at least 30 days. There's the education that is included with the service, pretty incredible. There's about 20 plus hours worth of education in these every other week or almost every other week workshops that I do, and always trying to educate folks out there. So there's that education that's just simply contained in each of the daily newsletters. I did show you one of the Apple charts yesterday, so you can go catch an archive of that on Channel 9 if you'd like, or just simply subscribe to the newsletter service where I lay everything out there, and it helps you to understand also the implications that Apple has on the market out here. As we take a look at things that are popping and dropping, you got Cornerstone. What is Cornerstone? What? CSOD. Cornerstone On Demand, up 10% here this morning. Let's go take, I believe that Cornerstone, they were out with earnings. So as we take a look at their earnings out here, their revenues, they had a net loss of $3.57 million versus $2.6 million. So it's certainly not because they're making money that the stock is popping. They must have some good guidance, or what else did they announce out here? Well, let's go take a look at the equity itself. Let's go let the chart tell us what it is doing. CSOD is the ticker symbol. Big leader in the clubhouse, up almost $3 here. Gapping up yesterday. Holy cow, let me revamp this chart out here. What the heck is going on with this equity? Must be some other news out here. I would think there should be some other news out here. In any event, yesterday, moving down, having a good day, in the market to the downside. Now, this thing does not do a lot of volume. Yesterday was 695,000 shares as it was making a low, taking out a swing point that only had 270,000 shares out there. So this should have wanted a lower price. It's gapped up here this morning, coming into its most recent swing point high, which happens to be November 6th. That only has 127,000 shares. It's done 259,000 shares today out here. You got to be careful in this equity. Cornerstone On Demand. I don't know what this high volume bar means other than beware. That's the June 22nd level, which has $22.05 all over. It's trading at 29 bucks and change right now. And I apologize because I don't know what other news is driving this equity out here. Let's go take a look at Home Depot. HD is the ticker symbol. So they say real estate is off the bottom, and we know that to be the case here at TFNN. And one of the easiest ways to find out, folks, is if you think you meet the qualifications as a qualified investor, simply come over to the homepage of TFNN.com, download Tom's paper, The Bull Market and Real Estate, and that is in the under breaking news section. Also, over on the right-hand side, what you will see is a little link to the Tiger Real Estate Opportunity Fund. I know Tom will be out buying real estate here today as we take a look at Home Depot. Home Depot taking out its most recent swing point high from October 5th out there. That high, 63.20, 9.7 million shares. It already today, 4 million shares, so it's got the volume to take that out. That sets up another A to B equals CD. In fact, if we take a look at the really large one out here on Home Depot, let's just pull this back to a weekly chart out here. So what a nice looking stock chart. We take a look at Home Depot first. Let's come to the monthly chart. We'll go ahead and bisect Home Depot. So let's look at the monthly chart. We can see the monthly chart, which we'd already done before. Of course, this gave you that beautiful buy signal in Home Depot from the long-term standpoint back in October 2011 as the version of the 50-day / 200-day converted to a monthly chart. You had that positive crossover out there. And, of course, I make just a little bit of adjustment to it. I put the little Steve spice in it. And as we take a look at Home Depot, you can see it's now going up and making a 1 to 2, A to B equals CD. That price point is going to be $65.59 out there. That is on the monthly chart. Of course, can it go higher? Certainly it can. The next level, just simply on Fibonacci expansion, would take Home Depot up into the 77.89 level. If we go down and take a look at a shorter term time frame, that would be the weekly chart out here. We take a look at perhaps its most recent A to B equals CD. You've got this straight line move coming off this hammer on the weekly chart, which was on August the 12th, 2011. The low there, $28.13, makes a little high, makes a little doji high out here on May 4th, 2012. A very, very small pullback for just a couple of weeks into the May 25th level when it gets down to 46.37. If we take a look at that doji candle, had 44 million shares as it was crossed with 49 million shares. So you simply crossed the B point with volume. That gave you a confirmed A to B equals CD. 71.09 is more likely the target. So that takes you in on the monthly chart closer to that 1 to 2.618 level out here. The bulls look like they're back in town. If we go back over, take a look at the NQ out here, you can see, you want to understand you want to understand the message of the markets, and the easiest way to do that is to understand candles out there. And if you are just learning about the markets, what you really want to do, I don't care whether you're just learning or you've been trading the markets for a long time, if you don't understand the candle signals, you're not taking advantage of all that the market provides to you. I did a really good, a fantastic, an extraordinary workshop that everybody should take. They really should. There's so much education packed into it. If you go to my name, Steve Rhodes, the Trader's Edge on the homepage of TFNN.com, and you click on that, you will then be taken to a page that will show you a link that will that takes you to the candlestick signals workshop out there. Comes with 1 month of my newsletter service. If you're just starting out, you should do it. If you've been trading all this time and you haven't been paying attention to the candle signals, now is your time. The Dow just turned green. Must be a new moon or something. Dow up 3 points. S&P off 1. We'll be right back.
Look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is. Welcome back, folks. We've got the Dow off 8 points right now. S&P off 3. Composite down 13. HCLP, High Crush Partners, absolutely getting crushed here. HCLP, they are the leaders in the crushing zone on the way down. You've got High Crush Proponents, High Crush Proponents LLC. Engage in the mining and processing of raw sands for use in hydraulic fracturing operations in the oil and gas wells out there. They are getting crushed here this morning. Let's go take a look at this equity. Again, the ticker symbol here, they're down 32% this morning. HCLP. I have not ever looked at this stock chart. So let's go take a look at this. This thing is coming down to, so this, wow, this is an IPO? Son of a gun. This is an IPO being taken to the cleaners, truly getting crushed out here. So what is the story here? The third quarter results. Oh boy, I can't read. Let's see here. Third quarter results says they did income of 9.1 million shares, but the print is so small on where it is. I've got to look to. I can't read it. Let's just simply take a look at it. This looks like it was an IPO going back to August the 16th, so only a few months out here. Low of that was $17, trading out at $13.95 right now. No telling where this equity is going because there is no area of, let's take a look at an expansion of swing points. That'd be our first spot to look at. The low from August 16th up to the high that was came in this equity here, which was on September 25th, and the high there is $23.78. So as we take a look at expansion of swing points, 1281 is written all over this. It has gotten down to a low so far this morning of 1321. That would be one expansion. Your next, that would be your 1.618 expansion. That is on High Crush Partners out there. Also to the downside here, we've got Tronox Limited. TRONOX. The ticker symbol is actually TROX. Let's go see what this is doing out here. Well, it's getting pummeled as well, so not having a good day, down 19%. They also were out with earnings. Looks like they had a net loss of 16.7 million shares. Their revenue was up about 5%, 487 million versus 465. This is gapping down with volume this morning. Taking out a swing point for sure. Let's go see where this thing is trading all the way back into a swing point low, which is from October 4th. So this is taking on the October 4th area. The low there is 1495. The high on October 4th, 1580. 543,000 shares back then. 3.7 million here this morning. So where is the next floor below that? Good question, because this equity too. Let me just refresh this. Looks like this thing here was an IPO from back in 2010. Nobody in this equity, really, other than a few people that so far bought at the lows this morning, are in a profit position. This thing tumbling down from the highs that it made back in May of 2012 was up in the 37.90-ish range out there. Again, trading out at 15.07. Stay tuned, folks, for the Money Masters show. We've got the Dow up 14 points. S&P totally flat right now. Composite down 7. Russell down about 1. And remember this, folks, you've got an amazing power within yourself. And that power, it's so strong, folks, that it'll bring about miraculous outcome. Build a life of abundance out there. Cure incurable diseases. Build billion-dollar businesses. Paint magnificent masterpieces. Go paint your masterpiece, folks. I look forward to seeing you in a few or back tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.